Hello guys and welcome back to episode 3 of our Ultimate Modded campaign for Thorgrim and the Dwarfs. We confederated Beric Var and I made some decisions that didn't work out in the end. I got a little too aggressive against them and we ended up losing Beric Var because of that, but we did take out Gorbad and some units in his army. But we've taken Mount Goonbad, and Thorgrim is now moving toward the Skaven. We were going to go after Clan Rictus, but looks like Kirkback Mountain got taken literally the turn before we got there. But that might mean we're able to wipe out all this stuff and actually get some support from the Chaos Dwarves, which is kind of heretical, but we'll look at that in just a second. We ended the last episode right as this new turn started. So, to get Uthar Stonehammer, we need to send a character to Carrick Kadrin, which we also joined war against Azeg's faction as well. And we need to go to right here, being the province, or that settlement, yeah, that settlement's area. Yes. So, next turn we'll be able to get Uthar Stonehammer as a lord, along with his legendary hero. I think it's Forkbeard? I don't remember. But we can get a runesmith. We'll have another one available in 3 turns, so let's actually look and see what traits we can do. Okay, Blood of Grimnir is pretty good. Recruitment cost, weapon strength, and melee attack for the army. That will be especially good in Thorgrim's army, where we rely a lot on melee power. So we'll get that one, start sending him down here. Trying to think, are we going to go to war with... Are we going to come down here first? Or do we go after the Chaos Dwarves? Chaos Dwarves will probably declare war very soon, but you never know. So we'll come down that way. I'm worried about Gorbad and the other stuff. Okay, next turn we can start to build the Gate to the Deeps. We need 6,000. This costs us 2,000. This will give us another Brewmaster, along with some bonuses for the local province, which actually might not be bad. And let's do that. I think we can get the amount of money we need next time. Oh, actually, I should do this too to get more Old Gold return. But engineer. Let's get Zufar Pounders. And we're going to save some of your points for up here. Unless we want to do this or night now for the missile resist and melee defense. But I don't think Drazdol's army have lots of missile units. Yeah. Mostly it's orc laborers. So let's go after this army. I'm going to suspect they'll retreat. These two are in march stance. Ah, dang it. He went too far away. The algae construction I can see. Alright, let's do... Bad idea. Which army's the biggest threat? You have 2 chieftains. Okay, this one's probably going to be easier to take out. I mean, it'll be easier... It'll be better if we wipe out the other army first. Once the rest of the stuff is taken out, hopefully the characters are easy. So we'll attack this one and take out both of them. Because we have all of these guys supporting, I'll probably actually, yeah, we're going to take the auto-resolve. Or we could fight the battle manually and just let them take all the casualties. That way they just get more damaged. But that would be very interesting to watch though, so we'll just auto-resolve it for now. And we get not very much post-battle loot. We actually did take a fair amount of damage in auto-resolve, and Jazloth actually took a fair amount of damage as well, so... because we're likely going to attack right after this, I'm going to take the heal.
It is time! Cinderbrage. Throw bearers!
We didn't quite hit level 12. Our Brewmaster, though... Let's take this one and get the extra range on our Quarrelers. That'll be very useful. We can't, yeah, we don't have enough range to make it there and wipe out that Skaven army. Yeah, maybe we actually just tried to take Crookback Mountain. Does it still have walls at the moment? No, it doesn't. Yeah, it has wall breaches already, so if we do attack, it might give us a pretty decent auto-resolve. But, yeah, what's the garrison? Garrison's mostly dead. Let's actually attack Drazoth. Fortunately, we're already at War with Fenrictus, so no notes that we can join war against him. But grudge, the unspeakable grudge, the Chaos Dwarfs.
Onward! Send me to vengeance.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember, because even though this army's in March stance, I think they won't be wiped out if they lose as a reinforcing army. So let's actually take the settlement.
Bring them.
A lot of stuff, a lot of bodies, but not too much actually, like, dangerous stuff. We'll just have to do our best. Okay, it's actually not a bad map either, so we'll do it to it. Oh, we are going after Crookback Mountain. We used the Chaos Dwarves to our advantage to wipe out that Skaven army, and they took actually a fair amount of casualties in the auto-resolve. But we still have to defeat the main army in here, plus Drazoth is coming with some reinforcements. So, still going to be difficult-ish battle. We got our work cut out for us. The garrison is almost completely orc laborers, but they do have some Chaos Dwarf units. These are some great weapons. They have some Hobgoblin archers, and I think a unit of blunderbusses that are just barely alive, maybe clearing the back. Maybe that's with Drazo's army, never mind. But Jarrah Bomber, get some early shots off from these Hobgoblin archers. We deployed on this side because the Chaos Dwarves had previously taken the settlement from the Skaven, so there are breaches in the wall already. So we're just going to start moving our army up. Thorgrim, going to go after the Sorcerer Prophet as soon as we can. The army is not very dangerous here, but he can be. He does have access to metal magic, so Searing Doom, Plague of Rust, stuff that can deal heavy damage to our heavily armored infantry, so kind of a bad matchup on that part, especially since we don't have a runesmith of our own. But Hobgoblin's just taking some nasty shots from the steam guns of our Jarrah Bombers. Trying to get a few shots off, but they're just about broken. Moving up the Dwarf Warriors first, since they are a little bit healthier, but yeah, that's a big Searing Doom right there. It's a couple of kills, but does a fair amount of damage. Most of the units are still up and running. Our bolt throwers is trying to hit him if we can, get some early damage on. Unfortunately, bolt throwers are not amazing. If you're not fighting like huge monsters, they do okay against trolls and stuff like that, but more on the bigger monsters, they're more meant to take them down. But steamrolling the Hobgoblin archers. Ooh, a little bit of friendly fire right there, though. But we moved in, gonna start taking the gate to get some momentum from that. Ooh, another big Searing Doom. Something that's interesting about the bolt throwers, though, is even though they're like kind of mediocre right now, in the lore actually, like in the War of Vengeance trilogy of novels, bolt throwers initially have like no chance when the High Elves bring dragons. But eventually, like years and years, they're crafting all these runic armor and runic bolts for the bolt throwers of like the Rune of Dragon Slaying, so they can like get through the heavy armor of the dragons, and it's just like a total shift. the balance of power between the high elves on the dwarfs during the War of the Beard. But oh man, yeah, those Searing Dooms able to do quite a bit of damage. We did bring our Brewmaster over here, so he can start to provide some of that healing. Not quite close enough to benefit those Dwarf Warriors yet, but we'll move him over in just a second once we get captured. There we go. So yeah, the Blessing of Valea. So it is a 0.2% heal, along with a small word save. So it can be very good, you just have to keep the Brewmaster out of melee. So he's moving over there, try to keep these units healthy. Thorgrim is being joined by his hammers and some Dwarf Warriors to try to get through the meat shield over here. The Sorcerer Prophet has retreated into the back, unfortunately, getting some of his fiery shots on the Jar Bombers. But oh yeah, another big Searing Doom on the Dwarf Warriors right there. Hammers able to tank it a little bit better. But the Brewmaster's like, yeah, I got you guys, I'm coming. Get some of that healing. But slowly we're just eating through the Greenskin Slaves. Drazoth has arrived. His army is still super far behind, but since he has on Cinderbreath on his Beltaurus mount, he is much, much quicker. 86 speed on a flying mount that's this tough is awesome. So he can be a real menace if we're not careful. As far as his loadout, he does have access to a few spells, but no, he doesn't have the Hammer of Hashut yet, or the Volcanic one. I don't remember what it's. Eruption? I can't remember what it's called off the bat, but still has some good spells, but I think the Sorcerer Prophet over here has used up most of their ones of magic. Started to move some of our Corlers in. We've kind of created our beachhead right here. We're going to start moving in with some of these melee units now, try to bring down these barricades and take the control points. Drazo's just kind of surveying his stuff over here, trying to find where he's best suited. But we're trying to get our heroes ready to come in and be able to take some shots off at him. Most of the greenskins that were in the starting army have been shattered, so they won't be coming back, but Thorgrim's still trying to get on top of this guy. Our other melee infantry, we've taken them away and gonna start moving in and try to get on these control points, break down the barricades. But Drazoth, see if he finds a target. He's been kind of picky until now, but it seems he's finally got his eyes on some targets over here with our Longbeards and Great Weapon Dwarfs. Ooh. Actually, not terrible charge for us, actually. It's pretty good. But it does look like he throws down an Ash Storm at the same time, so we are... Oh, I guess not quite. But he's getting extra melee attack from some of the barricades and his skills. So we're going to try to take him out as soon as we can, targeting him with all of our Corlers and our Gyro Bombers. We're getting a little bit of friendly fire here, so not the best idea, but if we can take care of him before he can mount a good defense in other places, that'd be awesome. Thorgrim has met his enemy in combat. High King versus one of the traitorous, chaos-worshipping evil kin. Sorcerer Prophet's still pretty tanky though, like other dwarf characters, still very heavily armored. He has 120, although he has lost quite a bit of that from exhaustion. Which is something I don't necessarily agree with on armor. I don't think your vigor should affect armor. It should affect your melee stats, for armor no. But he's still holding out. The Axe of Grimnir will sate its thirst for vengeance on him. But Drazoth went down like a punk. Once we actually pulled our stuff away from him, we stopped getting friendly fire, and he just went down through the combined might of our engineer and brewmaster. We're almost through the barricade, so we can start pushing onto the control points, but his army is starting to arrive with some of the faster units. He did have some Overbulls as mercenaries, along with some dual weapons and the Kedai Fireborn. These are actually one of my favorite units. They're so cool, especially in the lore. They are kind of cool. They're almost like manufactured demons. So they are basically these bodies of metal that have been made life, like they've been given life by capturing like fire elementals and demons and putting them inside of them. So very, very cool. We'll check them out in a little bit, but Quarlers have got some good damage off our bolt throwers here to bring into the settlement so that they hopefully wouldn't get charged by all the Chaos Dwarf infantry coming in. But some overballs do manage to push through the breaches. We didn't put Dwarf Warriors over here, we got some over there, but not quite fast enough. But Quarlers will tear these ogres apart very, very easily. And Dwarf Artillery Crew is no slouch. Sorcerer Prophet, 600 HP. Holding up pretty well against Thorgrim, though. I think Thorgrim's just having a hard time getting through his melee defense because he's so exhausted. Even with the Oath of Vengeance, but... Brewmaster now has come over here to provide some support to our Dwarf Warriors, get some healing on them, on these guys, because they have taken quite a bit of damage early on, but there's the Kadai Fireborn. We are targeting them with all of our Quarlers, because these guys will absolutely wreck any infantry, even if it's heavily armored, very, very quickly if we're not careful. So I want to get these guys out of commission as soon as possible, and they are just going down super quick from the focus fire. Ogre Bowls coming in. Gyro Bomber also getting some shots off. But as far as the reinforcements, they're still pretty slow. Got some Fire Glaives, Blunderbusses. A lot more serious infantry in this one. But the stuff that's the fastest that's getting here is all the Orc Slave Labor. Thorgrim has dealt with the Sorcerer Prophet. Not fast enough to catch him, so we're just going to let him run away off the map. But we push through the barricades with some of our stuff. Minders and Hammers over here. Capture that point. Now we're going to make our way to the leadership point. Get rid of that Siege Defender. But Longbeards moving up on that side. These Dwarf Warriors with great weapons doing some very, very good damage. While they get support from the Gyro Bombers, dropping some bombs on them. Hobgoblin Archers getting a few shots off along with the tower, but everything's going well so far, relatively for us. But with their enemies dealt with, we're going to try and move and capture some of these control points up there. Gyro Bomber did take a fair amount of damage, but all 4 models are still up and running. We have used all of its bombs. I guess we have 4 more. Try to get some more out here, but the Infernal Castellan, he is still there to provide some leadership for the reinforcing army. He's no slouch either. 140 armor, very good stats, and anti-large in melee, so he can actually do damage to Thorgrim if we're not careful. But with these barricades going down, our guys moving in to take these capture points. Hopefully we'll be able to get the Siege Defender bonus down any second. And we also bring some infantry up here to capture that as soon as it's available. But all of our Quarlers have turned their attention back to the breached wall. Thorgrim is coming over to help form up the defense. We have a 1 bolt thrower stuck over here in the breach. So that's unfortunate, but Orc Laborers, they'll go down pretty quickly once they start taking that ranged fire. Chaos Dwarf Infantry, that's the stuff we actually got to worry about. These guys are no slouches. They also have Frenzy as well. Ooh, that's going to make them very good. So we have 1 unit, just the Axe and Shield. We have some Blunderbusses, some great weapons, and Fire Lances. Or Fire Glaives. Fire Lances are Cathay. But really cool guys. I love the Infernal Guard. Especially if you do the Infernal Iron Sword, where they have like the glowing masks. But they're still moving into reinforcement range. We see our missiles still coming down. They got a while before they get into range of our stuff. But we're trying to force them kind of into these choke points. Apparently they're going to go after the gates. I thought we had secured that, but I guess some of the ogres got control of it. Yeah, Infernal Castellan, big shot there on Thorgrim. Gonna go after him. because he is a menace. Further up in the settlements, these two units have almost made it to the victory point. On this side, we've pushed through the barricade. Some Dwarf warriors with great weapons fighting some Chaoskin. We do have great weapons, so we'll be able to get through them without too much problem, especially with the support of some Quarterlers coming in. The Hammers and Miners also just going to wreck face. With these two units, hopefully the control point goes down pretty quick to get rid of that Siege Defender, because that extra 10 leadership is kind of nasty. But Thorgrim actually taking a fair amount of damage from the shots from the Infernal Castellan. And these Orc Laborers. Despite being a expendable unit, they actually have pretty good armor piercing and okay melee attack. So it's like, if you can get them on the right target, where they're not just being chewed out by our infantry, they can actually do quite well in the right situation. But some Chaos Dwarf Warriors are coming in as well to support, along with more Orc Laborers pushing through this little gap right there. I did have some Quarterlers set up to be able to shoot them, but it looks like we're almost out of ammo. Brewmaster was over here providing some heal to these Dwarf Warriors, but he is in melee now, so unfortunately that hail is going to stop. Gyro Bombers, we're trying to get some volleys over here. And the Infernal Guard with Fire Glaives, man, they just really did quite a lot of damage very, very quickly. We lost one model below 600 HP, so we are very, very low. We're going to pull them out of danger as best we can. Blunderbusses, managing to get some shots off. They are partially obstructed, which is good for us. But Brewmaster coming a little bit closer, try to heal the Thorgrim and our Dwarf Warriors. Fireglaves also get some shots off through. Looks like they're going after my Quarterlers. Yeah, Blunderbusses can do a lot of damage. Our Engineer trying to take some pot shots over at the Infernal Castellan. Hit right there, didn't do too much damage. His Missile Strength is pretty good though. Let's see if I can click. Come on. 321, so about 2/3 armor piercing. Or 3/4, I think is closer, but. Thorgrim dishing out damage, but he's taking a lot in return. Those great weapons that are coming in, along with the Castor Warriors, can do a lot of damage. Fireglaves have their anti-large. Armor piercing halberds. Quarterlers have run out of ammo. So we're trying to get them in melee with these blunderbusses, tie them up best we can. But Engineers slowly giving some ammo back as soon as restock is off cooldown. Bolt throwers trying to get to position where we can get some shots off and stuff up here. We have started to get the victory point after we took the leadership point, so we're almost to that, where we can start getting some victory tickets. But it looks like the Chaos Dwarves are going to fight to the last man, the last dwarf. Brewmaster almost out of ammo as well. He's dished out quite a bit of damage. Only 21 kills. He's been targeting mostly high-value stuff, though. But Infernal Castellan just going to blow right by him. Ooh. He does drop a flash bomb. Slow everything down over here. Blunderbusses finally have been brought into melee with our guys. Keep them from getting insane value with their super high damage blunderbusses, but Quarterlers up on the hill, raining some shots down now. Trying to get on these Infernal Guard and Chaos Dwarf Warriors. Some of the great weapons have retreated. They got kind of shattered with the focus fire, but Thorgrim putting up a good fight by himself and tried to get some stuff over to help him, but we kind of got occupied with other stuff. Infernal Castellan is almost down. We've started collecting victory points. So it's just the last little bit. Engineer. I think Infernal Castellan is just being obstructed. Our guys are a little bit in the way, but Bolt Throwers try to get some nice shots. Well, that's part of the reason we didn't send in too many reinforcements, is we're trying to get the Bolt Throwers to get their high missile strength on these heavily armored Chaos Dwarfs. But, ooh, there we go. Big shot there. Since we're not at risk of being shot by these Infernal Underglaives anymore. the fire glaives. We're gonna bring our gyro bombers in. Those steam guns shooting down. The gate has closed, so they are locked in. You're not locked in here with me. Or I'm not locked in here with you. You're locked in here with me from Watchmen. Rorschach. But we finally break the leadership of most of the army. These things are just barely holding on. I don't know how they're doing so well. Especially with the Oath of Vengeance taking down their melee defense. But like they're fighting to the last dwarf, like I said. Brewmaster has used all of his ammo. So he's just staying nearby to get that heal off for some of these units. Blunderbusses. Not giving up. But, ooh, nice shot with the steam guns there in the back. That might be enough to break everything. Yes, finally. Summon's ours. Goodbye, Chaos Dwarfs. Wow, those last few units that were a part of Draslo's army really did not want to give up. And these two Chaos Dwarf units and the Castellan. Now, Draslo, his army is going to survive, but we have the settlement, so it means he's not going to replenish it all. We will. I don't know. I don't think the Skaven army will attack, since they still have one settlement somewhere. Yeah, they have one settlement somewhere. So they're not taking attrition. So it's good to know. We have another trinket, Old Guard's armor. Ooh, Ward's even fighting against Greenskin, Ogres, and Skaven. Okay, let's give that to Thorgrim. He actually took quite a bit of damage that battle, even with the heal from our Brewmaster. But we also got this one, income from gems and obsidian quarries. Can we equip this on you? Oh, we can actually. Cool. We'll do that. That means he'll make some more money over here. And try to should I start building an army right away? I think I can wait, but could get a Grandmaster Engineer Lord or do one of our Dwarf Lords with some of their weapon variants. Fight Greenskins. Axe and Shield or Great Axe to get through the heavy armor. Yeah.
It is time.
Alright, on Thorgrim, we did hit level 12 though. We'll come back to that in just a second. Okay, this gives faction-wide bonuses. This gives us some Thanes. We can't recruit Thanes yet. We don't have a tier 2 barracks. But fire support is great for Master Engineers and the research rate. Yeah, we'll do the research rate one right away, even though we can't recruit any more engineers. But Oath Gold, faction-wide, plus 10% is awesome. Plus more runesmiths. But, yeah. That one's pretty good. Replenish movement range after winning a battle. That can be very good. Plus, unbreakable versus enemies with more than 1,000 grudges. That one will be the movement range winning a battle will be really good. And Age of Reckoning, Grudge Settler, Army Size. We have 2 more turns. I think we actually will be able to fill it. How much more do we need? We need a little over 300. I think we can get that. So I will spend a point there, hoping that we can actually fill that one out. Engineer, let's go for more mobility. And you. And the ammunition would have helped out. Let's do replenish troops, yeah, and get the extra ammunition for our quarrelers and stuff.
One rug. The runes are ready.
Oh, we just got more recruit rank on these runesmiths. Did I recruit the wrong one? I did recruit the wrong one to start with. Okay, well that's fine. But this one is good. So we'll get him.
You summoned me.
He'll start coming out here, and then we'll get another Rootsmith for an army over here, and just once we get a good trait for it.
An accord bound
But
by
we can
runic
do
law.
scouting to start with. I don't think we're dealing with any corruption, but let's get Wrath and Ruin. And we're going to save our growth to get that to tier 3.
Send me to vengeance.
And one of our Dwarf Warriors took quite a bit of damage. I think we have 2 recruitment slots. Just merge those, I think, and then, yeah, do that. Any more diplomacy money? Evelyn?
I
Sweet.
cannot guarantee your safety.
I don't want to do... Oh, actually,
Especially-
for one of our trinkets for the Runeforge, we have to either defeat an Empire faction or form an alliance with them. This one would give us that one. I think it's worth it, actually, to get that, so we can get that last trinket from the Empire.
By Sigmar's will.
Do I do a military alliance or just a defensive alliance? Defensive alliance gets us more money,
Yes.
so... Yep, got that trinket. He's probably going to get wiped out anyway. The combination of Gorbat and the vampires who seem to be pushing in quite heavily. Maybe that gives us vision of some
I
other
will
Empire
listen, but
factions.
My time is short.
Maybe we can get some more trade agreements. Not quite.
Sigmar.
Okay, pretty good turn though.
The High King acts.
Yeah, I'm curious what's going to happen here. Like that Skaven settlement? Okay, well, I guess the Chaos Dwarves are just going to wipe out that Skaven army, which is fine by me. They still have a settlement somewhere, so we have to figure out where that is. It might be down here in the Black Iron Mine, north of Karak Azul.
Do not
You never
fear
know.
my presence.
2,000? No. Man, vampires getting greedy already. Want our dwarf gold. Which, that's something that's interesting in the lore, is that dwarfs have like a gazillion different words for gold. Yeah, let's try to find that last Skaven settlement. Karak Kern. We could... I don't want to do control, so unfortunately we're going to have to take the diplomatic penalty. This is another one of our quest battles for the Armour of Skaldour. Oh, that's what I should do. If we have one more turn to fill out the Age of Reckoning. If I do one of our quest battles, we should be able to fill that out. And with Thorgrim getting the
His axe.
bigger army, that's going to make a big difference. Because this will only give us 13. Ooh, oh, we have a full army up here already. Okay, that's scary. Start getting the deeps. Oh, actually, I need to do the battle first. The Armour of Skaldour, if I remember right, is a bunch of good against a bunch of trolls, which that one can be pretty difficult if you don't have the right tools. Which one? Oh, I should move this guy first, though, because we're just right there.
Have my allegiance.
That should get us with our Stonehammer. And Bori Forkbeard, I think he starts down here. Okay, that's actually not bad. Let's get rid of the miners. So he is like the leader of the Dragon Company with Uthlar, so he has some Thane skills, but he's a really good marksman. So we'll stick him in Thorgrim's army for that battle. And then Uthar, we could recruit him as the lord over here. He gets bonuses fighting greenskins, which will be useful.
You summon me?
Yeah, yeah. I think we really want to get this extra army in the Age of Reckoning. So, Axe of Grimnir or the Armor of Skaldour. Axe of Grimnir gives us upkeep for the army, increase plus battle loot, reduce recruitment costs. Some more bonuses for Thorgrim. Or the Armor of Skaldour gives us just bonuses for Thorgrim. The Axe of Grimnir might be a slightly easier battle. It's still a really difficult one, especially with enemy artillery. I think we actually go for the Armor of Skaldour. I think that's going to be a little bit easier. We have to come out of the settlement, though,
What?
in order to initiate that. So, we'll take out the trolls and the giants. Valiant defeat. Okay, I don't think they have any magic. So, this doesn't do a whole lot right now. Let's put it on some of our longbeards. Hammers already have magic attacks, so let's go into it.
It is time for a call, my kin. The creatures of Troll Country are naught but a nuisance, a menace to be laid low. To the slayers, I say, chant your battle hymns of doom, fulfill your oaths, and seek glory in death. To the rest of the throng, I have studied the pages of the Damaskron and found many entries of trolls, giants, and other fell things attacking dwarfen families, stealing our treasures, and destroying our holds. These creatures are descendants of those perpetrators, and the debt stands with them. Destroy these monsters. Bring them down like rotten algae trees, so we may raid their filthy lairs and reclaim lost heirlooms that belong in Karazakarak. This is my edict as High King. Kazukhan, Kazakit, ha!
We're in Troll Country, aptly named, as you can see from all the trolls coming our way. We have put our forces up on this little hill. Hopefully that gives us enough elevation for our bolt throwers to be able to shoot over our guys the entire battle. We have a lot of units coming against us. Start off with 5 units of trolls plus a giant, 4 more trolls, and even more will come as the reinforcements pour in, but got our corridor set up. We have our new legendary hero. If I can find him. Right there. Ori Forkbeard. So he is basically the second in command with our Stonehammer. So big old thunder right there. He's going after the giant. That giant is what we are trying to do our best to focus down. Corridors were splitting up a little bit, but all 3 characters are going after the giant. We have set our Dwarf Warriors up in the front. They do have charge defense versus large. They're going to be able to hold them back. Giant, though, just shrugging off everything we're throwing at him right now. Even all those bolts coming in from the bolt thrower. Great weapons. Dwarf Warriors able to do a little bit. Ooh. Just get completely demolished there by the sync animation. Yeah, these guys are going to get absolutely wrecked by the giant, but trolls coming in with their fat, stinky butts. And pushing into our Dwarf Warriors. Dwarf Warriors is actually holding up pretty good so far. Corridors, we're trying to focus down units one at a time to get them to shatter as best we can. But over here, not going too shabby. The trolls combined with the Orc Boss able to get a fair amount of damage on these Dwarf Warriors, but Have got great weapons over here and Longbeards able to hold the line. We are going to countercharge the trolls this time, since we don't have charge defense with any of these great weapon stuff yet. Second giant going to come in and yeah, look at those guys get absolutely wrecked. Yeah, first giant went down, but very, very slowly. So we're going to do our best to take this guy out and this one over here as best we can. Over here we've kept units in reserve to be able to hold that stuff off, because if our backline gets compromised, we are in trouble. So we have the hammers over here. These are the grudge settlers. They don't get the bonus for large or infantry from Tordek since he's not in the army at the moment, but this will do some good. Ori doing his best to fight off this troll. Ooh, there we go. Nice kill. Over here, trolls still being held back for the most part, although one quarreler has been brought into melee, but that's okay. Thorgrim is there to support. Our Terror Bombers takes off some units. I did forget about them for a little bit, but the second giant is routed. Let's see if we can bring him down. Bring him down! Like the Mumakil in Lord of the Rings with Theoden. There we go. So with that, this flank probably will fold on them. Our Longbeards ended up chasing units and I lost track of them. So that's kind of bad, especially with how much damage they've taken. But this Orc boss getting some heavy damage on our great weapons. Thorgrim, but quite a hurt in this other one. He'll go finish off that other one in just a second. See if we can finish him off though with the Gyro Bombers coming back. But our bolt throwers so far undisturbed, but some of our crossbows getting into melee now. Gyro Bomber, get some good shots from those trolls. While the giant, did you see that? That was a bolt from the bolt thrower. It just bounced off the giant. Oh, we decapitated him. Awesome. There's our dismemberment mod in action. Really, really cool, actually. I'd love to see that. Trolls still pushing away. Fighting away at our dwarf warriors. Hammers. I have fought these guys pretty well. We only lost 4 guys and they're still pretty healthy. So most of like the first and second wave of units broken, but this one is coming back. The Longbeards unfortunately kind of got caught with their pants down out there, so they lost most of their unit, but it's barely surviving. One Ore boss down, the second one still taking some damage. Thorgrim coming in for the kill on that. Our Brewmaster, he's just been getting value on some of these trolls. No kills, but get lots of value from the heal and tactician. That extra reload skill is actually really key for this army that depends so much on ranged firepower right now. A lot of trolls. Hammers coming in for another charge, and hopefully that's enough to actually break these trolls for good. Shatter them so they don't come back. Looks like everything is routed. One unit of trolls in the back still surviving. This one as well over here, but they're getting focused down now. Troll country conquered. Man, that that battle is difficult. Our bolt throwers got a fair amount of value, not too many kills, but the giants are a really, really big issue because they can absolutely decimate our infantry. But everything did its job. We don't really actually get that much replenishment. But the gold isn't that appetizing. We're going to get oath gold from the... Well, I don't remember if we're going to get oath gold from the quest. I think we should, but... Okay, there we go. Get some regiments over down. Got the armor of Skaldour and Thorgrim. Finished our grudges. We have the forge unlocked. So, Crag the Grim is the legendary lord that's available for Thorgrim's faction. So 200 oath gold, and that's why we built the gemstones early. We'll recruit him to defend Karazakarak, since we will want some rune magic over here. So So his capacity, I mean, his trait is he gives capacity for runesmiths. He has some bound abilities, which is pretty cool, and he reduces the cooldown on rune magic.
I'll do it.
So on his skills, his rune line is just the same, but he has his own unique skill line. So Oath Gold, magic item drop chance, really good bonuses for his army and the defense. Big recruit bonus for runesmiths. Then bonuses for longbeards and hammerers. And this gives him more uses of his damage ability, which is pretty cool. But the thing I really like about him is his blue line down here. He has some really cool ones too. Some that are faction wide. Other ones that are more focused on basically just making him a powerhouse in defense. Pretty cool.
Yes, the runes are ready.
And we don't have another brewmaster yet. And we're going to wait for... Oh, we got another bad trade again. Come on.
Lord of Clan Morgan.
Yeah, so you'll try to help him. Let's...
Runes.
Does the garrison have any bolt throwers? No. So let's get some bolt throwers and another coroller. Hopefully they actually go for Karaz Karak and not the Pillars of Grugnin, because the garrison is still a little bit damaged from that sally out attack we made earlier. Oh, and something else for the forge. So besides the new runes that are part of the character runes, so there's a bunch more of these. Here in the runic units. So here is where you can increase your capacity for all of the runic units. Your golems, guardians, your clockwork thunderers, and the shard dragons, along with unlocking their regiments of renown. So you have to collect trade resources, and the Master Rune of Waking are things you can get once you upgrade the runesmith building up a little bit higher. So once you get to tier 3 runesmith, you get a runic color and a rune of awakening. So those are more resources to increase your capacity on that, which I'm very excited to use that. Once we get the deeps, we can actually start building the building line to try and get some of those runic units as soon as possible.
Let's march.
But Thorgrim, let's put some more of your skills to use. High Kingsguard is melee defense and armor. Gyro bombers, and we don't have any of these yet. Let's try to get Iron Will. This is a really good trait for dwarfs to get the extra replenishment. I don't really care about corruption or siege attrition. Let's take Midas Instinct for the interception chance. And our engineers hit level 12. First, I'm going to finish off Zupar Pounders because this is just a really good bound ability. And we could come down here right away, but I think I actually want to do Flash Bomb because this is really good at taking out characters and slowing them down, which can be very crucial.
Ula of Makas.
But maybe just be able to auto-resolve this. We'll probably lose some of our melee stuff, but I'm actually not too upset about that.
We mark another grunt.
We lose our Longbeards, though. I think we can fight this one real fast, because this is all just garbage stuff. Our Quarrelers can take the brunt on the front line along with our characters, so we'll do that. Last battle against this Chaos Dwarf army. Just a Sorcerer Prophet leading a whole lot of Greenskin slaves. Mostly Orc laborers, but there are a few Goblin laborers over here as well. But bolt throwers. Gonna be get some good volleys off. Trying to get some early kills on them. Because all of his army is expendable except for the Lord, if we take out the Lord, that should bring the balance of power into our favor really, really quickly. He is trying to shoot our gyro bombers, which he can actually do decent damage if he does hit them. But we want to avoid that. So they're just getting some bombing runs off right now. We have set our formation up kind of in checkerboard to keep all of our really damaged melee units away from battle, keeping them in the back. If they do get into melee with any of us, we can use our Quarrelers, who are still decent. They can hold their own. We have Thorgrim and the Hammers over here. Bori Forkbeard, new legendary hero. He has a Thunderer, so we were trying to get some shots off with our characters, with our Brewmaster, Bori, and our Engineer, right at the edge on the Sorcerer Prophet. He does have a lot of armor. He's a small target, so we're trying to hit him with the bolt throwers as well, try to get him down early, but a lot of greenskins still coming at us, even if they are garbage units. But spawning around in the back. The Horgrim just charging through these guys. All these crossbow bolts coming in. And as far as Bori, so right now he doesn't have any of his special skills, but he has 120 armor, magic attacks, very good stats in melee. Weapon strike not super high, but it is all armor piercing. The big thing is he does magical attacks on his ranged attacks along with very high missile strength. So we can deal a lot of damage if we get him to actually get some shots off. Sorcerer Prophet, barely hanging on. But as we clear out the chaff that's around him, he might go down. He got one little last shot on our gyro bombers, but he's given up now. We'll chase him to finish him off, and his army is toast. It'll quick, easy battle. Make sure we don't lose any of our units that have gave some experience, since that is going to be much more impactful if we can keep them alive. Okay, we're going to take the heal, because that's quite actually a big heal. And I still have to find that last Skaven settlement. It's probably the Gates of Zar then, which is like right here, if I remember right. Let's come back into friendly territory so we can heal and don't take attrition. We'll take... yeah, we'll take Mount Greyhag first. Imric, I don't know if he is surviving at the moment. Yeah, sucks that we have bad traits for runesmiths right now. I should look at Crag the Grim.
Yes.
Because he does get some pretty cool items later on, but they're all just level based. So for now though, let's give him the ward save from the old guard's armor. And this is 6 more melee defense, which is pretty good. Right for Brewmaster, sure. Plus this is more local income as well. Let's just give him all the money-making stuff. This stuff is all minus corruption, so that's better out there in the Darklands. But yeah, hopefully they attack Kradaza Kradak and they don't just move on to the Fields of Gurkney. We haven't spent money to build it up yet, but it would kind of stink if that did happen. We'll build this up to tier 3 next time, and we'll get our Grudge Settler army. Kadrak, oh, we have contact with you now from that quest battle. No confederations available through the Great Book of Grudges, so just gonna go to our next turn. Oh, Astragoth. Man, they're all just demanding money from me. No, we do not pay, do not deal with Chaos Dwarves whatsoever. Besides letting them fight the Skaven for us a little bit over here. That little caveat right there, except for when it benefits us. But no. And greenskins are pretty tough, though. It looks like, as far as faction power, they're doing very well. And no, I don't think we're at war with any minor faction at the moment. We have the Grudge Settler army. Awesome. So ooh, and that's starting new age too, but yeah, getting that skill on Thorgrim for the extra 5 units is freaking massive. I think what we do with them... Okay, they're besieging Karazakarak. Oh, they have a second army.
I'll cast the root.
Ooh!
Let me think of
So that's about a full army, half an army plus half Wa. This is a full army and about half a Wa right now.
I ain't doing that.
Vengeful Ridlock.
Our technology finished. This one would be good to get, but we don't have 250 old gold at the moment, so not a lot I can do on that. Yeah, it really sucks because a lot of the stuff is about to be finished upgrading too. Nothing bad though. We get you up to tier 3. Well, actually, so is there anything we can demolish, or are there any character rooms we want to get? We don't have enough to build the Master Rune of Spite yet. I think that's 500. Yeah. Which that's really nice to get early too. Actually, did we get... Because you can get one of those from a mission as well. Win 4 battles against Crooked Moon. Okay, that's a little while away from that. Recruit 30 units. Maintain control of 3 provinces. Yeah, I think what we do with you is we send you to fight the Chaos... No. We'll have you go north.
Keep up. Doom's awaiting. For my oath.
Let's move you in underway stance so you don't take attrition. You'll go finish off the Skaven and come meet us down against Drazoth at the Black Fortress. Tower of Gorgith, is this... They have one more settlement at Demon Stump over here.
Yes.
But that... Yeah, that's a pretty good decision on that part. And this will be a really good spot to end episode 3, guys. I know we're kind of leaving it on a cliffhanger with these siege battles, but we'll pick them up right in episode 4. So thank you guys so much for joining me. I'm Philheimer, and have a great day.